Hey guys, what's going on? Will, Audra, Flawless Crested Geckos coming to you guys with another video this week, and we want to hopefully spread some information this week as far as, the hobby and how to kind of dive a little deeper in and help you with building some of your relationships that they are out there, if I can get it out.
Yes.
So we want to talk about cross-species relationships.
Yes.
As you guys know, we've been shows, we go to shows and attend, we support friends, and we make this nice comfy little network of a kind of a mosh podge of people of breeders.
Yes. And what do we mean when we say cross species?
Right. That means breeders and keepers that have nothing to do with Crested Geckos. One that kind of comes to mind, just like on the spot, is Mike's monitors.
Yes, Mike's monitors.
And I knew
He's
that
so cool.
that light bulb would pop up.
Yeah.
He is awesome. We see him every single time we go to Tinley.
Yep. The very first time we attended Tinley, when Will and I were we went in and it was so overwhelming, but we just attended and brought our cameras, and he went one way, I went the other, and I got the pleasure of interviewing Mike. So if you look way down in our archives of videos, you'll see a spotlight on Mike in that video, that Tinley recap.
And he's a very special individual, and the reason I brought him up is because we've had, I can speak for Audrey and myself, several conversations with Mike. Not only that, when we tend to vend some of these shows, we tend to bring our kids with us as well, and to different shows. And we've done Tinley a bunch of times now. We've done Daytona. We've done all these different shows. So in passing, number one, in first meeting him the first time and coming to his booth, but in passing, now we know him by face, by name. We have full-blown conversations with him. But not only that, it's like maybe 2 times ago, he'll stop me and he'll ask about the kids, by name. They've had full-blown conversations, on their own with him. So again, these impressions that you're putting out there when you meet other breeders, they're long-standing, is what we're trying to put out there. So you never know if down the road, if we want to get into monitors, into the new facility, and have something that was a display piece and enjoy and add a new family member, for us, Mike would be the first stop that we would go in reference to a monitor.
So that's what we mean when we talk about cross-species relationships, right? We are clearly crested gecko breeders, and if you guys have followed us long enough, we're a little cross species into the slithery side of things with the ball pythons, which is a huge niche within the reptile community. But what we're kind of talking about is things that we don't maybe know much about. And you, as you attend different shows as as crested gecko keepers or as breeders, or if you're even there as a vendor, you really need to branch out and just find out information about different animals within the reptile world. You may come across something that you didn't know about and now you love, right? So, with us, when we talked about the Mike's monitors, we're not necessarily in monitors. We don't have monitors right now. But again, like Will said, he would probably be our first stop as far as whenever we decide to move to our farm and Will gets his cow, we'll have room to actually build a nice, monitor enclosure and that type of thing. So you just want to gather information so that you can be somewhat knowledgeable about the other species in the community, and that can help expand your brand of what you may be able to offer in the future.
And the information and educational side of things, because there's been plenty of shows that we've vended and we've been able to, believe it or not, educate other snake breeders as well, because they'll say, well, what are these? They've vended tons of shows, or they may see, what's so different about what you're bringing to the table. And then you can kind of deep dive into all your projects and kind of explain to them why this is important or why you're focused on this or that. And then down that rabbit hole, you seem to gain more intriguing and interest from
other species breeders. Like, for instance, he used the example with the snake breeders. Because we are in the ball python niche as well,
Are you guys needing some assistance with your crested gecko breeding programs? Well, check out our Patreon. We've been running it here now for pretty much close to 2 years. Everyone's been extremely excited. We keep adding new perks every time you guys turn around. We give away exantics, we give away high whites, we give away lily whites. We actually upgraded this year to we're giving away over 12 geckos every single year. That averages out to at least a gecko a month, and we've been doing over that. So you are not going to want to miss becoming a part of the Flawless Crested Geckos Patreon family. There's 2 tiers. There's a $50 tier and there's a $100 tier. You get all your funds back in the form of Flawless Crested Gecko savings account. You can take advantage of having 5% additional off by being a Patreon member, as well as having year-round free shipping. You guys are not going to want to miss this, so go head over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Gecko.
As well, we have a ton of friends that, you know, all they've done for years and years and years have been ball pythons, or
Correct.
maybe they've done other species of snakes. However, for us, like, they see us and they see the crested geckos, and then their daughter wants to create a crested gecko program, or their wife decides she's really into crested geckos, or they may just find an interest in crested geckos, and now we have found somebody that we can bring into our species that never would have thought about it before.
Right. So we always talk about, or we see it as well, you know, as far as maybe the hobby getting a little too big, or, you know, the availability of animals, and, you know, always the care has to remain number one, you know, taking care of your animals. But at the same time, when you look over at different, you know, species across the board, there's going to be different ranges of sizes as far as the amount of breeders, keepers, you know, aspiring enthusiasts, whatever it may be. And for us to be at even a level playing ground as far as at a show and being able to inform and educate people, and to still educate people on the genes and genetics and even the business side of crested geckos to established ball python or monitor breeders that didn't really know there was even a business side that was here present and thriving in crested geckos, is very exciting, I guess, to say the least, because again, we are now 9 years in and we're trying to push harder and stronger than ever, and we're still seeing people come in. So that's another thing. Don't be afraid. Work your projects. You know, you're not going to be a overnight, you know, success. It doesn't really work that way, unless you're just that lucky. And I hope you are.
I mean, you guys have been following us for quite some time, and we're not even close to to the reach that you know, some of the breeders,
absolutely,
Brian,
that
we know about. You know, so you've got to understand that it is a real long-term journey. It's a long-term investment. It's a long-term thing. So, you know, I think that's probably a lot of, you know, you'll see people pop in and then pop out of the industry relatively quickly. And that's where, you know, you as a mainstay in the industry, if you're, you know, networked into all the different species that are available in the reptile world, you know, you're going to be able to thrive, and, you know,
and I'll just add a key thing. She said, you know, if you're trying to be long term, you know, you think about the journey. For example, us here on YouTube, we started late. I mean, we've been doing over 2 years now.
A little over 2 years.
But and as far as here on YouTube, and I mean, you know, you may think of, oh, you have, you know, this amount of, you know, subscribers, but, you know, I mean, we have to really put a lot of how do I say, emphasis on ourselves, where we think we should be higher than what we are as far as subscriber count, you know, but that comes because we're so consistent week after week after week, coming to you guys with content. And it's like, we appreciate where we are, but we're like, man, it's been a long time, and the growth is like at a caterpillar's pace. But again,
you'd think with all those legs of a caterpillar he'd be able to go faster.
Right.
But you know,
but along the way, we've really garnered a lot of hardcore followers,
Yep.
a lot of people that watch everything we do, and we're so thankful for them, as well as you guys if you're just stopping by for the very, very first time.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I guess the main message I'm trying to put out is to say, hey, if you're going to do something, give it everything you got, regardless of the viewership that you're achieving.
Don't get distracted or discouraged from your main goal.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that you will, if you talk to anybody who has who's had massive success
Right.
In any industry, and I don't care what it is, they've heard no more times than they heard yes.
Persistent and consistent.
Persistent and consistent. There you go.
That's what you need. But that's pretty much the message we want to get out there. Just putting yourself out there, networking, cross-species networking, brand identity, relationships, build it all up. It can only benefit you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any connections that you can make into the world of reptiles, no matter what it is. It could be cresty people, you could be garg people, you could be chewies, you could be into ball pythons, you could be into boas, monitors, whatever. There's so many different kinds of animals within this field that have so many different interesting characteristics about themselves. Like, guess what? There's people that go along with those animals.
And it's really endless information. We don't really have to stop there. We are, but because it also goes further. Now, these people that you are meeting and networking with, they aren't primarily working with the species you are. So now when they get clientele or customers that are now shopping with them for what they have, they can also offer up information about your business if they're showing interest in what you're focused on.
Absolutely.
But they don't have it.
We've had it happen to us many times now.
Very important.
I know y'all are the Crested experts. Hey, can you help my friend out?
We're like, well, we're not the experts, but we'll help you
but
out. Absolutely.
We get that in our inbox all the time.
Absolutely.
we don't claim to be experts, that's for sure.
Definitely.
A lot of our stuff just comes from experience and our own opinions.
We're lifetime students.
Yes, we are.
That's how we'll put it.
Consistently educating ourselves and learning from other people, and that's the whole point.
So hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. It's Flawless Crested Geckos, Will, Audra, and we are out.
Bye.